Junu's heart is pounding, his mind just screaming so cute. But what comes out of his mouth is, my friend told me about a fun show. What was it again? Smooth. The girl doesn't notice, though. She's just excited. Good. We were going to watch one anyway. But after scrolling endlessly, she suddenly stands up, face flushed, and asks, "Are you hungry?" Haha. Classic move when you can't decide on movie. Her adorable awkwardness leaves our boy completely stunned. But just as Ajin is about to whip up a meal, ready to enjoy this rare one-on-one time, on the other side of town, her best friend, Choi, gets a call. It's the police investigating an illegal filming studio. And guess whose resume they found? Chohui's. Her pupils shrink. She bolts upright in bed. Today? Isn't that the place Ajin went to for me? That's right. This so-called part-time job was a trap from the very beginning. Choi panics, but the call confirms it. Ajin is safe. A young man picked her up. She breathes a sigh of relief, but then the green-eyed monster rears its ugly head. She knows it had to be Junu. The thought of Ajin and Junu getting closer because of this? Unacceptable. What to do? Easy. Her fingers start flying across her phone screen as she masterfully crafts the perfect victim narrative. Meanwhile, back at Junu's place, the air is filled with the cozy smell of a home-cooked meal. Ajin's bacon and egg rice bowl makes Junu feel like all the fatigue from today has been washed away. The compliment makes our girl blush, smiling like a little sunbeam. But the sweet vibe doesn't last. When the conversation turns to the dangerous incident, Ajin is still fiercely defending her friend. Choi was just sick. She definitely didn't know it was that kind of place. Junu's expression hardens. He knows Choi wasn't sick at all, but how can he tell Ajin the truth without crushing her? And right on cue, asterisk ding asterisk, a text message pops up. It's from Choi to Ajin, an Oscar-worthy performance. Ajin, are you okay? I just got a call from the cops. I really thought it was just a normal gig. I'm so sorry. Junu reads the message over her shoulder, his brow furrowed. Wow, the sheer audacity. He's almost impressed. The rest of the meal is a mix of flavors, and not just from the food. After the drama, the atmosphere between them gets even more intense. Ajin gives him a handmade bread-shaped keyring, and later, as she dozes off on the couch, Junu watches her with the softest gaze. He inches closer, his heart hammering. Maybe this is too close. He tries to pull back, but his body refuses to cooperate. The tension is absolutely electric. And right at that critical moment, asterisk click asterisk, the door opens. Ajin's family is home. The two of them freeze, caught in the dark, and the awkwardness just explodes. Junu is busted, and Ajin is so flustered she accidentally introduces him as her boyfriend to her dad. Junu eventually escapes the chaos, but not before pulling her into a gentle back hug just outside her door. No words needed. That one gesture said everything. The next day at school, the storm is far from over. Choi continues her innocent act, even taunting Junu to his face, confident that Ajin will believe her over him. Our boy is furious, but he's more worried about the naive girl who's completely in the dark. He warns Choi to watch herself, but she just scoffs. The war for Ajin's trust has officially begun. Despite all the drama, Junu decides to make his move. He walks right up to Ajin's desk and softly asks her to walk home with him. The entire classroom freezes. Ajin's brain short-circuits. Her face goes supernova red, and her mind is instantly flooded with pink, fluffy fantasies. But then, the memory of last night's awkwardness hits her. She chickens out, spending the rest of the day actively avoiding him. But our boy isn't giving up that easily. After school, he waits for her in the empty classroom. "I've been waiting for you." The impact of those words is devastating. Ajin's defenses crumble. There's nowhere left to run. In the hallway, Junu finally musters all his courage and says it, "I like you." The world goes silent. Ajin just stands there, frozen, her own heartbeat deafening. Junu likes her? The sudden confession completely throws Ajin for a loop. Her, an ordinary girl, being liked by Junu, the guy who's smart, athletic, and ridiculously handsome? It just doesn't compute. The more she thinks, the more unreal it feels, picturing herself being hunted down by his entire fan club if she says yes. Meanwhile, her panicked retreat makes Junu think he's been rejected. He's out on a basketball court, shooting hoops like a madman, but he just can't focus. And just when you think it can't get more complicated, it does. While Ajin is still reeling from Junu's confession, her bestie, Choi, comes to her with shy look on her face and drops a bomb. "I like Junu. Ajin, you're my best friend. You have to help me." Boom. A direct hit. Her own budding feelings on one side, a decade of friendship on the other. Ajin is trapped. Looking into Chohui's sincere eyes, She eventually nods. After all, they're friends, right? Having made her choice, Ajin is in agony. She promised to help her friend, which means she has to push Junu away. But Junu isn't having any of it. He finds her sitting alone, hands her a banana milk, and his eyes scream, "I'm not giving up. If you're going to avoid me, then I'll just have to make time to talk to you." This direct attack leaves Ajin completely flustered, hiding her bright red face behind the milk carton. What do I do? Torn between friendship and her own heart, Ajin turns to her ultimate therapy, baking. But of course, the universe has other plans. The oven picks this exact moment to die. Defeated, she posts an apology on her baking channel. An apology that is immediately seen by a certain someone who just happened to be thinking of her. At the same time, a friendly fan named Dalcom Honey slides into her DMs, offering her own kitchen for Ajin to use. Ajin happily heads over to the fan's house, and they hit it off immediately. As they chat and prep ingredients, Junu is venting to his own friend. He's pretty sure Cho-Wee is the mastermind behind all the recent trouble, but he has no proof and no idea how to tell Ajin. His friend just pats him on the shoulder, teasing him about how much he's grown up, chasing after a girl and all. At the fan's house, the baking is going great, until a small accident. Ajin spills cocoa powder all over herself. The friendly fan offers her a change of clothes. So, after she's cleaned up and is about to step out of the bathroom, click. The front door opens. A familiar figure walks in. "I'm home. It's Junu." He notices the extra pair of girl shoes at the entrance and just assumes his mom has a guest over. The gears of fate are turning at full speed. Feeling hungry, Junu follows the delicious smell towards the kitchen, just as Ajin steps out of the bathroom. They meet at the corner of a hallway. The air freezes. Time itself seems to stop. Shock is written all over both their faces, their heartbeats echoing in the silence. In perfect, disbelieving unison, they call out each other's name. Junu? Ajin. Oh boy, this is about to get interesting. And cue the record scratch. Our two protagonists are frozen in the hallway, staring at each other like they've seen a ghost. The air is thick with question marks. "What are you doing here?" Junu manages to ask, his voice laced with disbelief. This is my house." Ajin is completely short-circuiting. Wait a damn minute. The super sweet baking blogger, Clara, is Junu's MOM? What are the odds? Junu's eyes scan over her, noticing the change of clothes. A smirk plays on his lips. "So, you took a shower too?" Ajin's face instantly goes nuclear red. She could just die of embarrassment right here. She frantically tries to explain she just spilled some stuff, but in her panic, her feet get tangled and asterisk whap asterisk. She's on the floor. Well, so much for a cool and composed reunion. Just when Ajin thinks she's reached peak humiliation for the day, Junu just watches her and then says softly, "Those clothes, they look good on you." And boom. It's like fireworks just went off in Ajin's head. The awkwardness evaporates, replaced by a strange, warm feeling. This guy, who always seems so cool and aloof, he has this gentle side too? And then, the cavalry arrives, Junu's mom, aka Clara. Seeing her son and Ajin together, she's absolutely ecstatic, calling it fate. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Cho-Wee is stewing, staring at her phone. Ajin hasn't texted back all day. The gears in her head are churning out conspiracy theories. Could it be because I told her I like Junu? Is she avoiding me? But Ajin has bigger things to worry about. Junu's mom is the ultimate wingman, inviting her to come over anytime, and even promising access to high-end baking equipment she ordered from overseas. For a baking nerd like Ajin, that's like offering Willy Wonka's factory keys. As she nibbles on snacks, she steals a glance at Junu. He's just munching away on a banana, looking totally unfazed, except for the goofy, uncontrollable grin spreading across his face. As evening sets, Ajin decides it's time to go. Junu doesn't say much, just stands up. "I'll walk you to the bus stop." On the quiet street, they walk one behind the other, the air thick with a sweet kind of awkwardness. Trying to break the silence, Ajin brings up how she overheard his mom calling him rough. Junu just grunts in agreement. Just as she thinks the conversation is dead, she finds her hand reaching out, gently grabbing the hem of his shirt. Back home, Ajin flops on her bed, her mind a total mess. More happened today than in the entire last month. She looks at the t-shirt Junu's mom lent her and can't help but smile. Just then, her phone buzzes. It's an angry emoji from Cho-Wee. Crap, she totally forgot to text back. She starts typing, "I was at Junu's," but her fingers freeze over the screen. She remembers what he said at the bus stop. "I hope it's because of me." And her cheeks start burning all over again. In the end, she sends a little white lie about being busy baking. But across town, the real drama is just kicking off. At a fancy restaurant, Junu and his friend run into the most unexpected pairing imaginable. Is that Choi on a date with Dojin, the creep who's been harassing Ajin? Junu is practically petrified. The plot has officially become thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Choi has no idea Junu is sitting one table over. She's suffering through Dojin's cringy advances, but her mind is staging a whole different play. When Dojin mentions Ajin's name, her worst fears are confirmed. Asterisk, she lied to me. She said she'd help me, but she went to see Junu behind my back. That two-faced. Asterisk, the flames of jealousy are burning bright and hot. When Dojin heads to the restroom, Choi follows, engineering a little accidental run-in with Junu in the hallway. Time for a preemptive strike. She whips out her phone, showing Junu a photo of Ajin looking cozy with her supposed first love, Mr. Kim. You know how much a first love means to a girl like Ajin, right? She purrs, trying to plant a seed of doubt. But our boy's reaction is not what she expected. He doesn't even flinch. Her plan backfired, and Choi is left to crumble. Staring at her reflection, all her resentment comes bubbling to the surface. Asterisk, it's all Ajin's fault. If it weren't for her, Junu would have chosen me. Asterisk, she tries to console herself with the designer bag and expensive heels Dojin bought her, whispering, I won. But deep down, the feeling of emptiness and defeat is as sharp and shattered as a broken mirror. The next day at school, a new rumor is making the rounds. Junu and Choi are supposedly dating. Junu couldn't care less about the gossip. He just wants to find Ajin and clear the air. I ran into Choi at the department store yesterday, he says, cutting right to the chase. Ajin's heart stutters, her face flushing. Oh no, does he know about her date with Dojin? Looking at this girl, so flustered and red-cheeked over a simple misunderstanding, Junu suddenly realizes something. All the explanations, the rumors, the scheming, it's all just noise. He takes a deep breath, his gaze locking onto hers, and with a seriousness she's never seen before, he drops the bomb. Ajin, he says, let's go on a date too.